And then she saw me, across the ballroom. Piper, the girl I'd admired all year, wasn't laughing. She was smiling at me. Our eyes met across the crowded ballroom. For a moment, her expression was pure surprise. Then, slowly, a smile spread across her face. Not mocking, not confused, but genuinely pleased. She raised her glass slightly in my direction. A salute. An acknowledgement. In that moment, every year of invisibility cracked just a little. "Did Piper just toast you?" Justice whispered, sounding as shocked as I felt. "I think she did," I whispered back. More people were noticing us now. I could feel the stares, hear the whispers growing louder. Some people looked confused. Some looked surprised. Some, like Marcus Chen and his basketball friends, looked vaguely disapproving. But then I saw Jamie Rodriguez, who I'd had biology with sophomore year, break into a huge grin and give me an enthusiastic thumbs up, and Ashley Martinez, who I had done a group project with last semester, waved excitedly from across the room. "You look amazing," she mouthed. Justice pulled me toward the dance floor. "Come on, if we're doing this, we're doing it all the way." And just like that, we were dancing. Justice was a terrible dancer. All uncoordinated limbs and enthusiasm, but somehow that made it perfect. We laughed and spun, and didn't care that we probably looked ridiculous because we were having fun. Real, genuine, unbridled fun. More people joined us on the dance floor. The music got louder. The lights swirled in patterns of gold and white. And for a few perfect songs, I wasn't invisible Cordy Peterson. I wasn't the quiet kid who sat in the front row. I was just me, dancing, laughing, living. About an hour into the dance, Principal Walsh stepped up to the microphone on the small stage at the far end of the ballroom. "Can I have everyone's attention, please?" Her voice boomed through the speakers, and the music faded. "It's time for one of our special events of the evening, the Best Dressed Fashion Parade." My stomach dropped. I'd completely forgotten about this tradition. Every year, anyone who wanted to could walk the stage to show off their prom attire, and the crowd voted on the best dressed couple. "I can't," I whispered to Justice. "Yes, you can," he said firmly. "Cordy, look at me. You've come this far. You're already here, already stunning, already being seen. Don't stop now." "All participants, please make your way to the side of the stage," Principal Walsh announced. Before I could protest further, Justice was guiding me through the crowd. My heels clicked against the floor with each step. My heart was trying to escape my chest. There were maybe 15 couples lined up, including Piper and her date, Michael Santos, who was student body president and somehow even more popular than she was. Piper caught my eye again as we got in line, and this time she did something that shocked me. She walked over. "That dress is absolutely gorgeous," she said, and her voice was warm, genuine, no hint of mockery or irony. "Where did you find it?" "C. Celestine's," I stammered. "Downtown." "Celestine's," she repeated appreciatively. "I should have gone there. You look incredible, Cordy. Really." And then she did something even more unexpected. She reached out and squeezed my hand quickly before returning to her spot in line. The music changed to something upbeat and fashion show appropriate. First up, Principal Walsh announced, "Let's welcome Sarah Chen and David Park." Couple by couple, we watched our classmates walk across the stage. Some strutted confidently. Some giggled nervously. Some struck poses that made everyone laugh and cheer. The crowd responded to each couple. Applause, whistles, cheers. Next up, Piper Rodriguez and Michael Santos. The crowd went wild as Piper and Michael took the stage. Piper moved like she was born for the runway, her ice blue gown catching the lights, her smile radiant. Michael looked proud to be beside her. They paused at the center of the stage, waved to the crowd, and exited to thunderous applause. 3 more couples went. Then 2 more. This is it. No more hiding. No more almost me. And finally, Principal Walsh announced, and I felt Justice's hand find mine. "Cordy Peterson and Justice Chen." The music swelled. Justice squeezed my hand. "Together," he whispered. "Just like we practiced." We'd practiced? When had we practiced? But my feet were already moving, carrying me up the steps and onto the stage. The lights were blinding. The crowd was a sea of faces. The music pulsed through the floor. And I walked, 1 foot in front of the other, heels clicking confidently against the stage. The sequins on my dress caught every light, creating this shimmering effect that made me feel like I was made of stars. The feathered train swept behind me like I was royalty. Justice walked beside me, matching my pace, his hand at the small of my back, supportive, steady. We reached the center of the stage, and I did something I hadn't planned. I turned, letting the train fan out, letting everyone see the full effect of the dress. The crowd gasped. I heard it, that collective intake of breath. Then the applause started. Not polite applause, not obligatory applause, real applause. Enthusiastic, genuine applause. Some people were whistling. Some were cheering. I saw Ashley Martinez literally jumping up and down. I saw Jamie Rodriguez with his phone out, recording, grinning from ear to ear. We walked off the stage, and my legs were shaking so badly I nearly stumbled on the steps. Justice caught me, steadied me. "You did it," he breathed. "Cordy, you actually did it." "Now," Principal Walsh's voice rang out, "we'll give everyone a moment to vote on their phones. The link should be in the event app." The next 5 minutes were the longest of my life. We stood with the other couples, waiting. My heart wouldn't slow down. My hands were trembling. Justice kept looking at his phone, then at me, then back at his phone. Around us, everyone was voting, whispering, debating. Finally, Principal Walsh returned to the microphone, holding an envelope. "The votes are in," she announced. "And I have to say, this is one of our closest contests ever. But we do have clear winners for this year's Best Dressed Prom King and Queen." The room fell silent. Even the music had stopped. Principal Walsh opened the envelope and a smile crossed her face. Genuine, warm. This year's Best Dressed Prom King and Queen are Cordy Peterson and Justice Chen. For a moment, I didn't process it. The words didn't make sense. Then Justice was grabbing my hand, pulling me forward. Then the crowd was erupting, cheering, applauding, some people actually standing up. The music started again, triumphant and joyful. We walked back onto the stage in a daze. Principal Walsh placed a crown on Justice's head, a simple gold circlet. Then she turned to me with another crown, this one more delicate, with small crystals that caught the light. "Congratulations, Your Majesties," she said, placing the crown gently on my head. I looked out at the crowd, at all these people I'd gone to school with for 4 years. All these people who'd never really seen me before tonight. They were clapping. For me. For us. And then Piper was on the stage, walking toward us, and for a moment I tensed, not sure what was happening. She reached us, and instead of looking upset that she hadn't won, she was smiling. That same genuine, warm smile from earlier. "You really owned it tonight," she said, and then she pulled me into a brief, unexpected hug. "I'm glad you found your confidence. It looks good on you." She squeezed my hand once more and stepped back, joining in the applause. For the first time in my entire high school career, maybe in my entire life, I didn't feel like an outsider looking in. I felt like someone who truly belonged. After the crowning, after the congratulations and the photos and the dancing and the laughter, Justice and I finally stepped outside. The night air was cool and fresh after the heat of the ballroom. The sounds of the prom, music, laughter, celebration, drifted out through the open doors behind us. But out here, it was quieter, calmer. We walked to the edge of the hotel's terrace, overlooking the river below. The water reflected the city lights like scattered diamonds. I touched the crown still on my head, half expecting it to disappear. But it was real. Solid, mine. "How are you feeling?" Justice asked softly. I took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "I feel like I've been holding my breath for 4 years, and I finally exhaled." I said slowly, like there was this version of me I'd been keeping locked away because I was terrified of what would happen if I let her out. And tonight, I opened that door. Justice nodded, listening. "It wasn't just about wearing a dress," I continued, the words coming faster now, "or the makeup, or the heels, or even winning that crown. It was about giving myself permission. Permission to exist, permission to be seen, permission to live without apology. It wasn't just about wearing a dress, it was about permission." I turned to face him, this amazing friend who'd made all of this possible. I spent so long admiring Piper's confidence, wishing I could be that comfortable in my own skin. And tonight, I realized something. Piper's confidence inspired me, yes. But the confidence I found tonight, that was my own version of it, not a copy of hers, but something authentic to me. "You were incredible tonight," Justice said. "You know that, right? Everyone was talking about you. Not in a mean way, in an amazed way, in a 'who knew Cordy had that in them' way." I laughed softly. I didn't even know I had that in me. We stood there for a while longer, watching the river flow beneath us, the crown on my head catching the moonlight, the sequins on my dress still shimmering. My phone buzzed in my clutch. I pulled it out to find messages flooding in, from people at the prom, from friends, from classmates I'd barely spoken to all year. "OMG Cordy, you looked amazing tonight," from Ashley Martinez. "That dress was incredible. So proud of you," from Jamie Rodriguez. "You inspired me tonight. Thank you for being brave," from someone named Taylor I only vaguely recognized. And then, one more message, from a number I didn't have saved. "Tonight, you didn't just find your confidence. You showed all of us what courage looks like. Keep shining. Piper." I showed Justice the message. He grinned. "Prom queen, recognizing prom queen," he said. "That's beautiful, actually." I looked at my reflection in the window beside us. The crown, the dress, the face I'd learned to see differently tonight. I looked down at my dress one more time. At all those sequins catching the light, each one a tiny spark. "The one who isn't afraid to shimmer," I repeated. "I like that." We stayed out there a while longer, just existing in the aftermath of transformation. Eventually, the prom started winding down, and we headed back to Justice's car. As we drove home through the quiet streets, I caught my reflection in the passenger window, crown still on my head, makeup slightly smudged now but still there, dress still shimmering in the passing streetlights. I looked happy. No, I looked free. So that's my story. The story of how I became prom queen, but more importantly, it's the story of how I became myself. I learned something that night that I want to share with you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're going through, sometimes the crown you win isn't the one they hand you on a stage. It's the one you finally allow yourself to wear. It's the permission you give yourself to exist fully, to be seen completely, to live authentically. For years, Piper did inspire me, not to become her, but to find my own version of that courage. Confidence comes from within, and mine had to come from within too. No one could give it to me. No one could crown me with it. I had to choose it for myself. Whatever it is, I want you to know, you deserve to take up space. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to live without apology. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs your authentic, unique, irreplaceable self. So find that thing that makes you shimmer. Find that version of yourself that you've been keeping hidden. And when you're ready, when you're scared but brave enough anyway, step into it. Give yourself that permission. And Piper? She became a real friend. Not just someone I admired from a distance, but someone I could talk to, laugh with. Justice and I are still best friends, by the way. We're roommates now, actually, at the State University about an hour from our hometown. He's studying computer science, and I'm majoring in psychology. Turns out spending years observing people from the sidelines gave me some pretty good insight into human behavior. I still have that burgundy dress. It hangs in my closet, and sometimes when I'm having a hard day or doubting myself, I look at it and remember. Remember what it felt like to transform. Remember that I have the courage to be seen. Remember that I deserve to take up space. And I wear those gold heels more than you might think. Not to class, I'm not that brave yet, but to events, to parties, to moments when I need to remind myself that I can stand tall. But each time you choose authenticity over invisibility, it gets a little easier. Each time you choose to be seen rather than to hide, you get a little stronger. So, to everyone watching this, you are not too much. You are not too different. You are not too anything. You are exactly enough, exactly as you are. And the world is waiting to see you shine. If you've ever felt unseen, if you've ever waited for the world to notice who you really are, this story is for you. Join the Gender Diary family. Hit subscribe and share your own shimmer in the comments below. Tell me where you're watching from and what moment made you feel seen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until next time, keep discovering, keep transforming, and keep being beautifully, authentically you. This is Cordy signing off, but not disappearing, never disappearing again. The end. The Gender Diary exists to light that path with shared stories. Whether you found connection in this narrative, you're on your own journey of gender exploration, or you're here seeking understanding, your subscription fuels our mission. Every subscriber empowers us to keep illuminating these authentic experiences for our community. Kindly drop a comment below. Your voice adds to the tapestry of experiences that makes this space meaningful. Until our next story unfolds.